administrative officers as well as with the IPS officers right now, because see, and I think that's the topic of your panel discussion today: government, society, and business. So if you go to a district, for example, or you go to a taluka or a block, you have, suppose, a company, you have a member of parliament, you will have MLAs also, and you will have the DC office, which is called the district collector's office. Now the DC office is implementing a scheme, say like a Manrega, which is the taxpayers' money. Let's say there is an MP who has the MP LAD funds, local area development funds, which is again taxpayers' money, but the MP could be from the opposition party also, remember, which is good in a democracy. Now there is a company which is there, which has got CSR money, which is shareholder money, not taxpayers' money. So it's a very interesting combination that is evolving. So the ICLS officers who work closely with companies, I think would need to start collaborating more with their other counterparts who are other gazetted officers like the IAS and the IPS and in the Indian Revenue Services, because taxation is also coming in. So the more the bureaucracy buys in into the legislation, the better are the chances of impact from an enabling legislation like a Companies Act with Section 135. And I very strongly believe that every citizen of India, wherever we are, we have to understand the enormity of the opportunity, the depth of the opportunity. जब आपको उसकी गहराई पता चलता है तब आपको लगता है कि इसको मैं कैसे convert करूँ. So it is a challenge, but it's a very good question that you asked, and maybe I'll give that as a feedback to our Director General also, as to how we can have such PPP kind of modules, for the ICLS officers, so that they could have forums with other bureaucrats at the district level to start with, where the monies will actually go, so that if there is more collaboration amongst the three entities, we may get better benefits for the real poor of the country.
Okay, last question, please.
Good afternoon, panel. My question is to Nikhil Pant sir. The thing is, and many companies, probably their operations are not that profitable, but could they not invest in CSR activities to hike up their CSR index and ultimately manipulate investors into investing more money into their company? So could that not be used in negative sense?
That's a very interesting question again. It's listed in the Bombay Stock Exchange. Out of that, 1,294 companies qualify to do CSR, right? And उन्हीं का budget करीब 8,000 crore रुपए है. So we have in the first year started off saying that we have written letters to all 1,294 companies saying that if you volunteer, you can then be part of the index, because then they will have to give me more disclosures beyond the mandatory reporting, because the mandatory reporting is very limited. So in the first year, we would like to first go only for those companies which are qualifying. And but having said that, companies who do not have to do CSR are more than free to have CSR budgets, but where would they get those budgets from? Would they take it out from marketing, or how would that happen is something which remains to be seen. But your point that should they or could they be included in the index, I think is something which is worth considering, and we could definitely look at that. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to invite Mr. Balit to have some closing comments for 2 minutes. He raised a few very important issues. Maybe you'd like to focus on those or whatever you'd like.
Yeah, thanks. Based on our experience, we did raise some certain issues. I think it's on the first year that is happening. So a lot of companies will find out most of the companies has not yet prepared their CSR policy also. Still, many of them are doing, still continuing to do very this on a temporary basis. So as and when they start preparing their CSR policies and the CSR team is on board, is there, still many of them are actually the HR manager is still the CSR manager. So but then they have to have a proper division in the companies to manage the CSR thing. Things will get more clear, but of course, what is important is that what we have seen and what we feel is that how you can leverage your funding. Mr. Pant rightly said is that with the social initiatives of the government, as far as the Lighting a Billion Lives is concerned, for example, we work very closely with the government district collectors in many of the tribal districts in Odisha, Jharkhand, and all these places. So if I go and as an institution from Delhi and go to Odisha and just try to implement something in a school, and tomorrow the government also sanctions a solar power plant in that particular school. So either the government plant will not work or our plant will not work, because the school won't have money to support or maintain both the things. This one. So it's very important that, and I think that's very important for the companies also to see that how your money is being utilized to create social infrastructure along with the district authorities. So the district authority is the best person in a district to know what is being required, required in that district as far as social infrastructure is concerned. Do you need a school? If there is a school, do you need a solar power plant, or you need desks and benches, or you need something else? And accordingly, it should be prioritized. If I start doing as a civil society organization, or if a company starts doing a parallel administration of implementing CSR, I think there will be mismatch. So somewhere we have to have a clear alignment of responsibilities of the government and responsibilities of the companies which the government want for them to do. So there needs to be a matching of the thing so that you can get a better benefits out of the entire initiative. What the CSR has also done, good thing which I have seen, this one is that they have also made the corporates a better citizen. That many of the corporate officials, especially for the private sector companies, not for the public sector one, that they also want to go to the field and engage themselves with the community in CSR projects. So we get a call, say private companies always ask us that we'll only support areas where we can also go. We would like to go to the villages and be part of the baseline survey, try to understand what is happening and then be part of the process. So if you are imparting education in a school, we would like to take few classes and also share our knowledge with the students. That's a good trend. That would make them better corporate citizen, and the shared value would be better. Because then whatever knowledge they have, these experts have, how it can be used also to better the society, especially those who are deprived. So then I think that's a good way to do it, and I think it is being happening, and maybe over the years this will start creating more value for the society and also maybe for the shareholder. Because as a shareholder, if I am a shareholder, I would also like to see that my company where I invest is also on the top of the index, that doing some good work, has got better name, and not like company which are being told that aap to kuch karte hi nahi ho. This one, no? So I would also as a shareholder like my company to do something good for the society.
Thank you. Some closing comments from Mr. Vijay.
This is not about the sessions and all, about the students who are here. I am very much surprised to see that students from MBA college who are normally who look forward for corporate positions as part of their career, the whole flow of questions had been something totally different what we actually get in a setup like this. They are more of development oriented, grassroots people, and I really am very happy that I think most of them are going to NGOs or in corporate. If they go, they will actually improve the systems. So all the best. Thank you.
So I think we have hands on that. And as Professor Ranjana mentioned, that the whole purpose of this VGSI course was also to sensitize students about the issues which are beyond only the bottom line. So I think to some extent we have been able to do that under this course, as is quite clear from the questions as Mr. Vijay has rightly mentioned. So please, some closing comments.
No, just one point I wanted to say that, and I think the ICLS question that the boy over there had asked has a very, very important connotation, I feel. As going ahead, I think the next 5 to 10 years, I can see much more active collaboration between MBAs and IAS officers, right? Because UP or Bihar में बोलते हैं ना, the biggest hobby is to prepare for the civil services exams. So as I see more at the village level, collaboration between the government rep, who's the district collector, who's an IAS officer generally, or a PCS officer, and if the MBA who's in a company like you guys, and if CSR is a game changer, you will be doing CSR in some way or the other, or you will be involved in a business strategy which is linked to CSR, right? And that would have to be linked with the local MP and MLA. For example, अभी बिहार का election आ रहा है, वहाँ की जो local companies होंगी वो invest करेंगी. So because of a change in the way the Indian electorate has started voting for development, I think Indian shareholder and the Indian buyer will also buy more products and services from companies which are more development oriented, which are more proactive to their sensibility. I thought I'd just add this in the end.
I hope that this session has helped all of us to clear many of the doubts and so many things we get to see in the media coming up. So I think this was very helpful in clearing many such doubts, and of course we had a limited time. So I would just like to mention that the dialogue has just begun. So please feel free to get back to these panelists. They would be very happy to hear more from you and engage with you in future. With that note, I request my colleague Professor Ranjana Agarwal to propose the vote of thanks. And I would like to thank all the panelists for making it such engaging discussion, and all of you, the students, for very interesting and insightful questions, thought-provoking questions that you have raised. Thank you so much.
On behalf of the students as well as my faculty colleagues, I just thank the august panelists who spend their precious time to come here and interact with the students. Today's program has been made possible because of the help of several people. I thank IMT Ghaziabad, and I especially thank our Dean, Professor N.L. Ahuja, who's gone, who's given a special support to make this program possible. Many others are there whom I would like to mention. I thank Mr. Sushil Kumar and IS. He's a visiting faculty in one of our courses in BGSI, who's contributed to making this program possible. I also thank people from administration, Mr. Anu Sareen, Mr. M.L. Godial, Mr. R. Pandey, IT team, Mr. Inderjeet Singh, Mr. Divakar, Mr. Deepak. We also thank a special mention of our academic associate, Ms. Pooja Uja, who's helped us, who joined us last moment, helped us with the program. I thank Aparna Day, Mr. R.K. Sharma, Mr. Bahuguna, Mr. Joy Sharma, Ms. Ishita Kundu and team, Lav Kumar ji, and lastly but not least, Shiv Kumar ji, Harbir ji, Deendayal ji, who's all helped make this program a big. And we also thank Achal and Deepak, who lent their support to come here as a student, to come here and thank you. Okay,
Thank you
program
so much.
ends. The dialogue will continue, but the program ends right now.
One of you comes.
So you want to stand together, you will stand.
थोड़ा क्लोज है जी सर थोड़ा ready smile please one more
My intention is to do, and okay, if I'm getting about the work, then that's a good thing. So, if let's say like an RTC, they have each advantage, they have something, they have
so for a charging
gain
station or a
maximum effectiveness. So they have their way of working. So what if I reach out to other companies so that they can also practice a similar procedure in their
For you as a company, B2B partnerships can happen for people to do bigger projects.
Yeah, so but
Okay, bye. Nice meeting you.
the idea is not to improve my brand, but to increase the awareness. So tomorrow when you're going to come up with the CSR,
if they're getting the truth,
then
say
it
we,
will be that you can
so we say that if
Yes, it can be a weighing parameter. It can be promote good projects to scale with larger collaboration. No, we are still developing those parameters. That's a very good suggestion. We would like to include that.
They should also answer about do that maybe the idea wouldn't be just to increase your brand, but you can also
Why don't you write me your inputs? Send me your suggestions.
maintenance fund of the system.
Give you my
So over a
card.
period of time, maintenance
Looking
fund
for
can
suggestions from young bright people like you.
the battery is to be replaced and that money can be
Why not? Why not? Because if smaller companies come together rather than spending separately, it is better. End objective is to help the poorest of the poor.
because right now it's all
These are not
cycles.
business
People do it because they want to.
If it is a parameter in the index, it may motivate them to collaborate. Is what you are saying. Very good. What's your good name? Just write